thing I absolutely loved about growing up in Goa was that there was always an event around the corner. Goa's always been like that, full of gigs, festivals, concerts, and cooler pop ups than you'll find anywhere else in the country. But have you noticed something lately? Behind the camera, behind the beautiful reels you all see on Instagram, it's the Goan youth running the show. From filming weddings in old Portuguese homes to designing brands out of cafes in Asagao, it's young Goans who are calling the creative shots. More and more of them are now choosing to stay right here and build their careers, turning Goa into a place where work and lifestyle can blend together. I'm your host Ira Deshpande, and today on Gigs and Goenkar, we'll hear from two such Goans, two youngsters who decided to make Goa their home base. Let's start with 29-year-old designer Sonalika, who moved back home to work on her own terms.
So I actually lived in Bangalore for about 8 years before moving to Goa. And honestly, at some point, I just started feeling completely drained, like my creativity was hitting a wall or something. I was spending most of my time indoors, working nonstop, and there wasn't much around to visually or mentally recharge me. That's when I realized I needed a change, something that would bring me back to why I started creating in the first place. And Goa felt like that place. It's calmer, it's surrounded by nature, and there's this sense of space here, both physically and mentally. You can just step out, see colors, light, movement, and that instantly feeds your creativity. For me, what I see every day deeply affects what I design. So, being here isn't about moving away from opportunities like in Mumbai or Bangalore. It's more about giving myself the right environment to create meaningful work.
That's such a refreshing take, choosing calm and creativity over chaos. And it's just not her. My friend Varun did something similar. 2 years ago, he moved back to Goa to start his own media production company. He says after he realized he could work from anywhere, it struck him what better anywhere than Goa itself?
This remote work culture, a lot of professionals realized after the pandemic that they don't need to be tied to Mumbai or Bangalore or any other big cities for good clients. Goa offers that mix of lifestyle, creative inspiration, and connectivity. And I think it's a very exciting time because there's less fear around pursuing creative work now. You see 20-year-old confidently freelancing, editing reels, doing brand content, or even running small production setups. And with initiatives like the creative community of Goa, the ecosystem is slowly becoming more structured. And personally, I find that very motivating since I'm like surrounded by people who are passionate, experimenting, and using digital platforms to grow their creative careers.
Varun does make working from Goa sound pretty tempting, doesn't he? I can already imagine it. Beaches, palm trees, that susegad vibe. You know that laid back, take it easy attitude we Goans are famous for? But even then, being a freelancer here or just being a creative can get pretty hectic. The deadlines don't stop, the payments come slow often, and sometimes work just dries up between seasons. Here's Sonalika again with what she's learned and her advice for anyone trying to make it in Goa.
Honestly, Goa looks gorgeous on Instagram, and it is. But freelancing here isn't always as easy as it looks in those beach work reels. The truth is, things move slower here. Work doesn't just come to you, you have to create your own opportunities. Sometimes, even the Wi Fi has its own mood swings. When I first moved, I had this idea that I'd be designing by the beach every morning. And yeah, that happens sometimes. But most days I'm still at my desk, working like anywhere else, just with way better air and quieter surroundings. The real difference is the headspace. In the city, I felt constantly rushed. Here, I actually see things. I draw more. I observe more. I breathe more. But you do need to be self disciplined because it's very easy to slip into vacation mode. So, if someone wants to move to Goa and start freelancing, I'd say come for the peace, not for the postcard. It's slower, yes, but it also gives you space to reset and find your creative rhythm again. And once you do, the work you make here feels a lot more you.
She's right. As wonderful as it may seem online, freelancing here does take guts. But what really helps in such cases is having a creative circle that's got your back. That's where Goa's growing community of artists, filmmakers, and designers come in. Varun says that even if the projects are few sometimes, the people make it worth it. Everyone helps each other out, shares gigs, and builds together.
Especially in film, you you need to know a lot of people. A lot of the work that is being done is not being done alone. You always need a team. If I'm good at something, my colleague is good in something else. Like if I'm doing video, my colleague is my friend is good in photos, so he can take that part of the work. If somebody has a drone, they're doing that. So it's always, you're always supposed to be connected to even get more work and to get more opportunities. And especially in the freelancing community, not if you try to do it all alone, you'll be stuck, and um, you won't have many options when it comes to work. Most of the work comes through someone else, and it comes through word of mouth, and it comes uh, it comes only if you're part of a community, if multiple people know you. So that's, and everybody helps out each other. Sometimes, the dates clash. If I already have an inquiry, uh, but I still get an opportunity, I pass it to my friends, and vice versa. If they get an opportunity, they pass it to me. So that's how creatives help each other, and they support each other, and that's how we're able to survive, because the government only does so much to help us. It's up to us. It's up to us to support and run this creative field by helping each other.
What Varun said does sum it up. Goa's creative scene runs on community. From Iffy to Serendipity, or from Sunburn to the tiniest local gigs. These aren't just festivals. They're what keeps the creative engine alive. Every event gives work to videographers, editors, designers, the people behind the scene who make it all happen. With plans for a new film city on the horizon, there's a sense that Goa's creative scene is only just getting started. But even with all that development, it's the community that really makes things move. The young designers, filmmakers, and creators who share contacts, pass on gigs, and cheer each other on. They're the ones shaping what Goa's creative future looks like. It's proof that collaboration and not competition is what keeps the scene alive. You've been listening to Gigs and Goenkars. See you next week. Until then, keep the music loud, the ideas flowing, and the susegad spirit always alive.